This is the December 2025 Blumberg Digital webinar. December 2025. Raise your hand if that went quick. Crazy, right? Okay. How was your year? Give me a thumbs up, thumbs down, or anywhere in between. Give me an honest thumbs. Like, how was your year? Like, honestly. I love the honesty. Yeah, here it is. Yeah. You know, the interesting thing, if you've ever had a good year, put your hand up. Yeah. So, you know, you wouldn't be able to have a bad year if you never had a good year, right? You had to compare it to something. So there was this great video I saw once. I think this was actually Tom Hanks being interviewed in some group. They were asking, hey, what's one of the most valuable lessons you've ever learned in life? And I'm probably going to butcher it here. They were going around the table. What was the most valuable lesson you ever learned? He got to him and he said, I think the most valuable lesson I've ever learned is this too shall pass. And everybody was looking at him kind of like, sorry, what? This too shall pass. He said, you know, you're going to have rough times and you just got to remember that this too shall pass. And you're going to have good times. And you also have to remind yourself this too shall pass. That's just part of life. Part of life is just going through it. If it was a rough year, a rough month, a rough week, or today's been a bit rough, just remember this too shall pass. And if things are going great, well, apply your affluence condition and you'll keep it going. We have a little different approach, right? For all those MGE clients and those of you on board with Blumberg Digital, we try to isolate gains. And what we also try to do is if things are going rough, we try to find out what is wrong and sort that out and get to the bottom of it. And what we're going to talk about a little bit today is kind of on that end, because one thing with marketing is it's a changing environment. All of life is always a changing environment. I think we've come to learn that. All of you out there, I can see you with gray hair like me, right? Changes, you just got to get used to the fact that things are changing, but you got to keep up with those changes and you got to change with whatever industry you're in to keep current so that you're rolling. And marketing is far more changing of an industry when it comes to dental marketing or any marketing. Marketing is far more changing than dental is. Dental is, listen, there's some changes, there's some updates, there's some cool new stuff here, there, now, and again. But by and large, dentistry, what it was 50 years ago, is not too dissimilar to what it is today. How many of you remember marketing 25 years ago in dentistry? I got a couple people. How about 15 years ago? And how many of you feel that yeah, it's actually different than it was 5 years ago? Raise your hand if you think marketing in dentistry is different than it was. Yeah, it's different. And then what have we been seeing? We've been seeing, oh, it's totally different. 2026 is going to be totally different. Because we're a marketing group and a marketing team, we, of course, get all the ads. And because we're in dentistry, we get all the dental marketing ads. Britt and a bunch of the execs were going, our clients must be being absolutely bombarded with some things that are pretty scary, alarming, or fascinating and interesting. We have been on the side of things where we see the result of somebody going into one of those activities or one of those offerings and not getting exactly what they hoped for and far from it. So we thought, well, let's warn people a little bit about what's being advertised out there to stay away from or be aware of. So if you're interested in some myth busting and finding out what's the real truth behind some of these ads, I'm sure you've been seeing it. AI is going to change everything. Everything's going to be totally different in 2026. And listen, AI is making things fantastically, I don't know. I find it fascinating. It makes it fantastically easier and faster for certain tasks. But we are not yet to the point where AI is going to do all your marketing. And trust me, we're ready. We're standing ready for when it is. But some of you might even be doing some of the AI receptionist activity. And we're happy with that because, some of the lags and stuff are acceptable. It's better than an answering service. It's better than a voicemail. But for externally calling out and for drawing up ads and for creating images, you're putting time and hours into it. Who's played around with that? Raise your hand if you played around with AI and you've had some success with that. Yeah. I'm loving it. We're just not there yet. And so if you're seeing companies saying, oh yeah, everything's AI now, step away from your conventional marketing. We saw this. Oh my gosh, we saw this. SEO is dead. SEO is dead. Everybody's using ChatGPT to search for dental offices now. Why don't you do a little survey of your new patients and ask them how they found out about you. Yeah, you might find one or two that used chat for search and stuff like that. But a lot of people are using, those that are using chat for search for local businesses like a dental office are helping to distill down who they should choose. And then they go to your Google business profile. And that percentage is shockingly minor. So please, everybody, ears open. Do I have your attention? Don't change anything major at all. Don't follow the hype. Britt's going to walk you through a bunch of stuff. We're going to do some myth busting, but please, please, please. I love the next shiny thing. All my staff will tell you. I got every gadget in the world. I could reach right now on my desk and pull out at least 10 of the stupidest things you could ever imagine spending money on. I'm all about the next shiny thing. I'm all about technology and what's coming tomorrow. Trust me, love that. But do not mess up your marketing by following bad advice. And with that, we're going to be bringing that to you with some great factual information today. But before we get into that, who's got a question? Like, I'm here to find out about this. And it could be along the lines that, everything we just said, but it could be something totally different. So this is open season right now. Go ahead. What you got? What would you like to know more about? This is a survey. I'm just doing a quick survey. Okay. For some reason, we have been very slow this year. Yeah, we should take a deep dive in that. Miriam, dig in on that one. Folks, you need to reach out to Miriam. There, as you know, about 10,000 things that could be at the bottom of. But first is a recognition of it. Just so you know, if you're at least keeping statistics, you're ahead of about, unfortunately, 80% of dental offices don't even keep statistics. They don't even know. They wait for a quarterly report from their accountant the next year to find out how they did for the earlier year. So good on at least knowing that. But then grab Miriam. Miriam will do a deep dive into things. Some things might be management. Some things might be marketing. Anything marketing related, she'll help you. And then she'll get you, turned in the direction of the person you need to talk to on the management side of things. But understood. Okay, good. Next one was, I want to be ready for 2026 and finish strong 2025. Liliana, there you are. I love that. What do we know that we got to do if we want to have a thunderous start of 2026? Everybody put it in the chat. Yep. Outflow. Be louder than the competition, Tana. That's right. Promote outflow. Look at you all. I'm so impressed with you all. It's counterintuitive to kind of the mood of the year. We're all trying to wrap up. We're all trying to hey, it's December. It's the holidays. Let's get ready for this. Let's do a holiday party planning. Let's plan our vacation. Let's make sure that we got coverage and everybody's where they're supposed to be. Let's manage, flus and colds and, sweater weather. Did you notice? Hey, it's sweater weather. We're all doing that right now instead of constructive planning for 2026. So when I see all of you are saying outflow, promote, be louder than the competition, outreach and planning, so very true. But are you doing that right now? Are you hitting your promotion so hard right now that you're going to come out of this year into the new year like a bullet out of a rifle? And only if you're really doing that outflow and that planning right now. Outflow meaning getting your next postcard ready to launch. Hey, it's a new year. Take advantage of your insurance benefits. Like you should have been doing your use it or lose it. If you haven't done that, you've got some time. It's December 2. If you haven't done the use it or lose it campaign, do it right now. Please do it every way, everywhere you can. Text campaign, a little bit late on the postcard. Social media announcements, social media video. We can help you with that and put a generic video together for you and run that. Email campaign, get your team on the phones. Anybody from a reactivation perspective, it doesn't matter if you're in network with their insurance or not, but definitely do that. But come the beginning of the year, hey, it's a new year. Take advantage of your insurance benefits. So make your plans with your Google Ads campaign. What's your new campaign? What are your new offerings? What's your new specials? Or are you just going to do the same boring specials you've been doing, which there's nothing boring about your specials, except you've been doing them for 2 months or 5 months or 7 months. So they're a little bit stale. They're not special anymore. Thumbs up if that makes sense. They might be special because they're a great value, but they're not special anymore. Do they have a time limit on it? Like from here to here is when that special applies. So there's that. We're going to be talking about 2026 trends and what was successful in 2025. I'm just going to give you a quick wrap of that right now. Google Ads, 100%. Are they more expensive than they've ever been? Yep. Is it more crowded and competitive than it's ever been? Yep. Is it frustrating? Yes. Did they shut you down last year? They might have. So many people got shut down with some stupid algorithm that they put in place that took out, I don't know, I would say 7 out of 10 people advertising on Google got removed for like at least a week. And now you had to restart your campaigns. So are they absolutely frustrating and infuriating? Yes. Do they still work? Yep. Yep, they still work. People go to the top of Google. They go to the top of Google. And so you should be there from an SEO perspective, search engine optimization perspective. If you're not there on all your key basic dental search terms, so dentist near me, best dentist, etc. If you're not there, you need to work on those. If you're there for those, you need to work on your auxiliary search terms like best implant dentist, Invisalign near me, etc. Work with an SEO strategist on that. And in a good SEO, a great SEO strategy, going to take you 8 months, and it's going to be expensive. The great news is that 7 to 8 out of 10 people will only click on an organic response, a non-paid response. So, when you're there, man, the phone's ringing. How long does it take to get there? We literally had one of our clients, 15 months. Doing our premium SEO service, 15 months, and still wasn't ranking at the top. And he said, Dan, I love you and your team. You guys are awesome. Yeah, so it's expensive. He canceled with us and I felt horrible about it. The next month he calls up, he says, Dan, I don't know what happened, but it finally kicked in. My phone lit up like a Christmas tree. Please put me back on to premium SEO. So it took 15 months. I think that, Alan, wasn't that about our longest case? I think that was our longest case to get, that was a rough one. Yeah. But, 15 months. So Google Ads until you've got your SEO in place, SEO until you're ranking organically at the top, social media, absolutely. But we're going to talk a little bit about what you need to be thinking with on social media. Paid social media ads, most certainly. Sure. All your traditional, whatever's worked in the past. Everybody ears open for this one. I'm going to give you a penny dropper right here. Anything that has worked in the past, put it in a nice new shiny dress and do it again. Try that. Anything that you've done successfully in the past, put a new wrap on it and do it again. And do it a lot. Like I hear a lot of people, we did postcards in the past, but didn't work. Okay, well, how often did you do your postcards? We sent postcards out once. And how many did you send? We sent out 1,000. No. You got to send out thousands 3 times to the same mailing list, which is totally frustrating. You get somebody who's like, oh my gosh, I just got your postcard. Boy, I've been looking for something like this. And you've sent that postcard out 9 times. No, they've received it 9 times. They've thrown it away 8 times. They just didn't throw it away this time. Whatever you've done successfully in the past, pump it up, do it again, go through your past marketing, put it in a new dress, and get it sent out in volume. So whether that's been social media, a special that you've done, an offering, that's a great takeaway datum. Take a look at past successful times that you had a great number of new patients. What campaign were you running? Now listen, it might be different, right? Because your area might have gone from a little bit more, everybody uses postcards and direct mail and such. And today our area is a little bit more progressive and we probably should do some digital. Okay. But don't totally toss out what has worked in the past. Give it a shot. So that's that. So one other thing I want to tell you about something. What else has worked in 2025? And I feel like a broken record telling you this, but I really want you to ask yourself this question. Have you slowed down on your reviews? Have you slowed down on your before and after photos? Would you put it in the chat right now? How many testimonials have you gotten in the last month? And be honest with me. We're all here to learn. We're all here to improve. So if it's 0, put a 0. That takes courage. That's okay. How many video testimonials have you gotten from patients in the past month? When we say back to basics, get your basics in, I want you to understand that is the foundation of all of your marketing. Because all of your marketing, thank you, everybody. Love that. I've got a couple of you have actually gotten some in. Glenda, you got 3 video testimonials. Destiny, you got 2. Jordan, you got 2. Janelle brought 1 in. Fantastic. And Kimberly, great on your Googles. Love that you've moved your reviews by 0.3 points. That is amazing. You went from 4.3 to 4.6. Everything about marketing is driving people to your online profile, your Google business profile, your website, etc. But so many people are going to check out your Google business profile. So everybody, note takers, who's a note taker here? Raise your hand if you're a note taker. I see Amy Evelyn. She's always got her notes. I see her. She's looking down on her notes. All right. So note takers, break out your piece of paper. And I don't care if you got to put it down on a little pink Post-it and write small. Break this out right now. Your basics, your foundational basics for marketing must all include Google reviews. If you have less than 150, you're a non-business in the eyes of the consumer based off surveys. If you have less than 150, you're not even a real business. So you got to get up over 150. If you have less than 4.8 stars, you need to solve that right now. You need to get up to, ideal is 4.9 stars. Anybody here got 5 stars? Put your hand up if you got 5-star review rating. Good. Mentor, good. All right. So 5 stars is fine. Yeah, Margaret, you got 4.9. Good. 4.9 is kind of the sweet spot, unless you have an excess of 1,000 reviews. If you have an excess of 1,000 reviews and you got 5 stars, I'm sure you have some negative reviews. They're just drowned out by the 5 stars. So that's okay. But 4.9 is kind of the ideal. Ideal 4.9. 4.9. Okay. So 4.9, and you should have the most reviews in your area. You go search for your area, dentist in your zip code, dentist in your city, dentist in your region, etc. You got to do about 3 or 4 different searches because it's going to be different search results. What's the most number of reviews in your area? Now, some of you might have some corporates there, right? Sometimes the corporates do all sorts of stuff to drive in reviews, but their review rating is like 4.1, 4.2, 4.3. So that kills them dead in the water. But if you got somebody out there and they got 800, you need to be at like 850 or 900. And ideally, you should be triple the number of reviews of the number 2 practice in your area. So if you got somebody out there that's got 700, you should be around 2,000. Because when somebody goes and searches, and it still is that way today. When you go on Amazon, how many of you are Amazon shoppers? Raise your hands, you're Amazon shoppers. Okay, good. So you go and you go search for whatever it is you're looking for. How many of you use reviews as your first means to sort by clicking? Right. So that's what people do everywhere, and certainly with dentistry. So your reviews got to be top of your list. Like if you want to ask Santa for something, man, ask for like another 200. He's not going to bring it, right? It's a violation of the terms of service of Google to have reviews from Santa, apparently. So, but get up there, get a bunch of reviews, get a bunch of them. We just found out Kathleen from Salvatore Dental, she just had 50 reviews removed because they found out she's running a raffle for reviews. So she's not giving people, she wasn't like giving somebody like a Starbucks gift card, but somebody, one patient, of course, reported that if you do a review there, they put your name in for a raffle. And so 50 of her reviews got lost. So they went from like whatever, 1,400 or 1,600 and whatever down to 1,600 and whatever. I mean, but it was 50 reviews and it stung. So that's just an update. Google did confirm back, yes, you cannot do a raffle. Do people do it? Yep. Will you get caught? Don't know. Should you do it? I can't recommend it, publicly. But, that's over to you on that one. So just know that. But reviews. Then behind that, people go, oh, this is a pretty highly reviewed practice. Let's have a look at these photos. Now I want you to put it in the chat. How many photos have you added to your Google business profile in the last month? And if you don't remember, just put a round figure. Kima 2025, Tracy, show off, but so well earned. Good. At least 10, Randy, beautiful. Photos, you're saying, hey, Google, we're alive. Not just our reviews, but we're alive. We're adding photos. Now, how many before and after photos did you add to your Google business profile last month? Put that one in. Before and after photos. How many before and after photos did you add to your Google business profile last month? A couple of you are really active on that. Yeah, and don't beat yourself up. I'm not here to make you feel bad. I'm just telling you, those are your basics. When you build a house, it's a foundation. It's on a concrete foundation that is the primary means by which that house can now be supported. Your foundation in a dental practice is your Google business profile, obviously your search, right? Organic search, your Google business profile. And then in your Google business profile, that's your reviews, your before and after photos, your culture photos of your practice. And then of course, your video testimonials, which must be uploaded to your Google business profile. And what we do, if you're using our video editor, our video editing service, we're going to give you a version of your video that's kind of a downscaled, lower quality, because Google has a limit, a 50 megabyte limit to upload video files. So we just don't give you the nice, big, beautiful version of it so you can upload it to your Google business profile. Upload that, they go to your website, then they search and they see all these photos of you and the team, and they don't have to be amazing photos with a pro photographer. They just real photos, and they see the before and afters and they see the testimonials. You see, your marketing is driving people to that. And if that isn't solid and being kept up to date, no matter what you do externally, you're going to drive people to your profile, so they're going to run away. So let's see what other questions came in. This is a great one. What do we do for 2026? Everything you've been doing. And all the basics, keep those in strong. Are we going to show you some cool things come January? We got some cool things to show you. Okay. But we're not ready yet because it's not ready yet. And we're going to show you what you can work on and try when we know that it's ready from the consumer's perspective. It's got to, everything that is marketing is built around think like the consumer. And the consumer wants a very fast decision-making process that they can just go through things and see, and it scratches their itch. And we're looking for the fee-for-service profile patient. What do I mean by the fee-for-service profile patient? The fee-for-service profile patient is the person who cares more about the experience than they do what it costs. It doesn't mean that money isn't a big deal to them. Money is a big deal to them. It's a huge deal to them. But they're willing to spend a few extra bucks to make sure that they get good care, a good experience, that it's done right the first time, that they don't need to redo it. Now, I'm going to ask you all, as consumers, there's people who are always going to go to the Motel 6 and people who are always going to go to the, the Ritz. And then there's people in between. But I'm asking you this, how many of you, money is a thing, but you're willing to spend a few extra dollars to make sure it's a good experience, a good product, good service? Raise your hand. That's the patient we're looking for. There are people who just want the cheapest. Okay. They just want to do what the insurance says. Okay. I can understand that. Can you understand that? Thumbs up if you can understand that. That's what they want. Can you understand that they want that? Okay. You're going to do your best job to get them to understand money is a big deal. It's important. That's your ABCs, right? Your MGE, ABC Communication and Sales Seminars, the Seminar A, Seminar B, and Seminar C. If you haven't done that in a while, oh my goodness, get your team back on it. January, February, and March. Hit those 3 ABCs, sharpen your tools, get your skill set up. But you're going to talk to them about the importance of oral health and keeping their teeth in their mouth for the rest of their life. You're going to talk to them, but that happens in the practice. To get them in the practice, you need to make the phone ring. To get the phone to ring, you need to have great profiles. In order to have people who are responding to these great profiles, you have to have marketing that's driving them to your great profiles. So that is the sequence. What's working in 2025 is everything that's been working for the past 2 to 3 years. Slight adjustments. We're going to tell you what those are. 2026, come out of the gate strong on the basics and the foundation. What else should you be doing? Well, I want you to, if you haven't done video, how many of you have doctors that just refuse to do video? Raise your hand if you have doctors, or you doctor, I don't do video yet. Raise your hand. Just be honest with me. Yeah. Okay. The enthusiasm of some of you. It's so important that you get there with video. Doctor, I understand it. Who likes to be on camera talking to the one-eyed monster? Nobody. It's this very unsympathetic lens that just stares at you like this. It's horrible. And it has no emotion, no response, no reaction. And you're sitting there and you feel like an idiot. And then you play yourself back and you sound like an idiot. And, you look like one too. To you. You look like an idiot and sound like an idiot to you, but not to everybody else. Not to everybody else. Okay? And you get through 3 or 5 or 7 videos, and now you start sounding really natural. You're getting more comfortable with it, and it starts coming across. So everybody on the Gold platform, our Gold marketing platform for Blumberg Digital, get this video done immediately. And it's on the subject of why do some dental offices have different treatment plans and pricing than others? 2 separate videos. One, why are prices different in this practice and another practice? Don't say your practice, but why would dental prices be different in this practice and another practice? So that's one video. And you're going to talk all about supplies, cement, like this tube of cement. We could buy this cement for literally 1/3 the price, but that cement isn't going to last. And most of the patients that come in to see us, they're not happy to be here at all. And they certainly don't want to come back before they have to. So we're going to put that crown on or that veneer on or that repair, and we're going to make sure that it lasts as long as it possibly can last. We're not going to cut corners with that. You're going to talk about that. And then why are there 2 different treatment plans for 2 different dentists I went to? And you're going to talk about how some practices only do what the insurance covers. That's probably promoted by the fact that their patients only want to pay whatever the insurance pays. We can all understand that because who wants to spend money on dentistry? There's all sorts of more exciting things that we could spend money on. But let's talk about what can happen if you lose your teeth. And what's that worth? You know, the people that we see who come in here who've been to other practices that got away with a lesser treatment plan, and those dentists didn't help them get the treatment they needed to really make sure that they had their teeth in their mouth when they were 40, 50, and 60 years old. These people now can't eat steak. They don't smile at family reunions. So why 2 different treatment plans when it's the same issue? Well, here at ABC Family Dentistry, we treatment plan the individual. It's not around what the insurance covers or, you know, how much money we want to make. It has nothing to do with us. It's around the patient and long-term health. So those 2 videos, thumbs up if you got those 2 videos, those ideas. We'll get you those scripts after this, but please get the Gold marketing clients, get those scripts done. We're going to get them. We're going to get them processed. We're going to post them on your website, and we're going to run them on your YouTube because those are big questions being asked right now. Why is the same, treatment costing 2 different prices at 2 different practices or multiple practices? And why am I getting 2 different treatment plans from 2 different practices? So get on video, get your video content. We call that explainer content. Okay, explainer. You're explaining something to commonly asked questions. So that's where I'm going to leave it. I've taken up way more time than I should have to say hello, but I wanted to say hello. And when you get Dan Brown talking, sometimes Dan Brown just don't shut up. Any other questions before I leave this? Hope that was helpful. I'm going to turn this over to Britt. Sorry, Britt. Don't kill me.
Oh, no, I won't. This was all very valuable. So Don't feel bad, Dan. Okay. Well, hi, everyone. I'm very happy to be here. Very happy to be closing out, hopefully, a great year with you. To address the elephant in the room, Dan and I did not coordinate our outfits, but this is the webinar uniform for today, sweater weather. We've got the sweaters on and we are ready to go. So I'm going to start off a presentation here. Sometimes people ask for things that are quite techy. Sometimes people, want it super simple. Hopefully we're meeting you somewhere in the middle. Go ahead and throw any questions in the chat and we will get to those. But let's get going. So we really wanted to focus, as Dan said, on what's going on with sponsored ads, what's going on with AI, the good, bad, the ugly, and some myth busting. So we're going to talk about why strategy matters more than ever. And one thing that you'll see as a theme over and over, and we just want to make super clear, is that Google's AI or Meta's AI work for Google, or it works for Meta. So while their optimizations can benefit you, ultimately, Google and Meta want you to spend as much money as possible on your ads. Now, of course, you're not going to keep spending money on ads if you don't get results. So they certainly do want things to occur, but the AI is not there to get you the most new patients or the best quality leads. The AI of these mega platforms is to make you spend the most amount of money on these platforms. So that's why we're going to come back to strategy over and over, and having a team like ours and our tech guys stay on top of what's happening. Also, the more AI is released or is this buzzword, they don't want to tell you what their AI is doing. They want you to sign up to use it, and they don't really want to tell you, well, we changed this or we changed that. And that brings me to point number one: automation increases complexity. What do we mean by that? If you are a student at MGE, a practice at MGE, they will encourage you to keep track of changes so you can identify what changed to make this increase happen or what changed to make this decrease happen. As I just mentioned, Google and Meta don't want to tell you what's going on behind the curtain. They don't want to tell you what Wizard of Oz is doing behind there. So if you're trying to wing it with AI by yourself, it can be harder to see the changes they're making. AI can make 10 changes in one day, 20 changes in one day. It can be harder to see, well, what caused that to go better or what caused that to go worse.
And maybe we should just give some context.
Yeah.
Just kill your screen for 1 sec, Britt.
Yeah.
Folks, what happened is there was this new platform that was launched. I think it was Google. And it's fully AI. We'll create your ads. We'll scrape your website. We'll match your theme. We'll take your logo. We'll do your ads. We'll manage your ads. We'll just get you leads. Oh my gosh. I'm like, let's get that. I mean, that we could probably get rid of like 15 people. No, I didn't say that. I did kind of think that. But anyhow, so we checked it out, and it's an abomination. It's an absolute abomination. Horrible. I mean, the assets it created, your 7-year-old could do better with crayons, and their ads logic and stuff. So while I think it's great that we're headed in that direction, and when we're in that direction, we're going to use the best solution that we can. But this is why we're warning you. Like, it sounds amazing. We were actually quite enthusiastic about it because we could plug into that engine and maybe monitor that engine and tune that engine and direct that engine and put that engine in our chassis and make it roll. No. So that's what Britt's talking about as far as AI. And you might be seeing this on the feed. Hey, AI is going to handle your marketing. No. It's not there yet. Trust me, we are so anxious for it to be there. It's not there. So with that one. So Britt, there's just some additional context so everybody understands what you're talking about.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I very much agree. And I tried that platform that you mentioned, and it was sad right now. A lot of things are in their testing state, which is why it brings us to our next point. Practices can lose money when they follow platform suggestions blindly. This actually happened. There's a version of Google that will run ads for you. Anytime we do a Google Ads audit, we have 29 best practices that we can audit on a Google campaign. The highest number that I've seen someone outside of our agency implement correctly is 12. 12 best practices out of 29. So again, if you just put it on autopilot, sometimes it goes great and that's awesome. And sometimes it doesn't go great. And that's when we find, you're not doing 20 of the best practices to actually be most efficient on your ads. We test new features cautiously. As Dan said, we're doing tons of testing. We're very eager to see and adopt new technology that works, but we want it to be profitable for you. And basically the advantage of working with an agency is that you get a team that filters out big tech pitfalls. Like I said, Google's kind of looking out for Google. So you just need a team that's looking out for you. Anything else to say on that, Dan, where we're going, where AI is at, and
I think we're using AI in some great stuff. Like we've had a couple of practices that want to do some great social media stuff. That's why I was seeing if Julia is here from Delgado, because she goes, okay, good. We want to do a song. We did this one for this other one. I don't think I even have that file. Maybe I have that file, but we're creating songs for practices, and they do it's amazing. And it's all themed and it's all custom and it's around whatever kind of tune you want it to be and sound like. I'm going to give a sample of this. This is great. This is a great use of AI. I think, by and large, that's decent. But when we're talking about having AI actually do ads and do outbound calls. We're seeing this. AI can do all your outbound calls. We've been testing it. It's just not there yet. I would love it to be different than that. But yeah. So Dr. Delgados, raise your hand if you want to hear a song. Who don't want to hear a song, right? Or share a sound.
Stockton. It's a good day for a good smile. Dr. Delgado leading strong with heart. Dr. Natalie bringing precision. Dr. Alma with that gentle touch everyone loves. It's a good day, a smile good day. Delgado Dental makes the worry go away. Walk in stress, walk out okay. It's a good day. Good day. Queen Joan runs the place with pride. Jennifer at the front. Ooh, Maria in the back. Julia on the socials, catching every shining smile. 800 plus 5-star reviews. The people say they care every day. It's a good day, a smile good day. Delgado Dental makes the worry go away. Walk in stress, walk out okay. It's a good day, good day. Implants, crowns cleanings, all in one place. When you're here, your family. Delgado Dental, making Stockton smile.
So that's fun, and we'll do a couple iterations. We'll find, we'll find something that works and stuff. I hear Julia just joined. So Julia, you just missed your song.
I caught the last little bit of it.
Yeah. Anyways, we'll play with it. We've got about 3 different versions of it. And then what Julia will do is she'll put some video and some photos to that, maybe some lip syncing and stuff like that. That's great. When you could do something that custom and bring these great messages across, you get people's attention and they stop in their tracks. But you know what? Julia's providing the data, the context. She's then going to put the videos, photos, and we can do some of that stuff. So somebody said, is that included or is that additional cost? That's an additional cost. And it's a great deal at 1 million. No, it's relatively cheap. It's affordable, but we're trying to get people's attention. And so AI, rather than me putting together a 27-piece band, hiring a composer, a songwriter, good. Yeah, AI can help with that. There's still work to be done. So I think that's the message, Britt.
Perfect. Absolutely. There are some good things, and we'll get into these here, AI innovations and the oversight that protects performance. That's a bit of a long-winded title. There are good things about AI that we are harnessing, that we are leaning into. Google and Meta can begin to identify people who are more likely to book a dental appointment. They can see their spending habits all across the internet, their booking habits. There is a lot of information that we can lean into to target people who are more likely to call, fill out a form, or book. And it uses these signals from search, maps, YouTube, and partner sites to aggregate data. We do want to identify those higher quality patients who are booking, who are spending money, who do fit that profile of people who care about their teeth, care about spending a little bit more money to get that quality. Why you still need to strategize. We don't want the net cast too far, too broadly. We want to make sure that the net is not too small, the net is not too big to reach people with those profiles that you want. Again, Google can spike costs or they're optimizing for more spend. So we just want to make sure that the net isn't cast too broadly. And Google and AI can do creative optimization. So as you just saw, if you input the facts about your practice into AI, you can get some great songs as a collaborative effort. Google and Meta and their AI, it can test headlines rapidly. It can rewrite headlines. It can think with what are the keywords? What are people responding to? It can mix images and video assets and do different tests to see what's going to harness and play the best. And it can auto test short form content and rewrite that content. So again, when it has the facts about what you do, it's a great way to A, B, C, D, E, F test creative to see what's going to play best. Of course, I know this is the theme. Don't just hit play, download it. You need to evaluate, wow, AI did a great job. I love this ad. It represents our practice well. This song represents our practice well. Sometimes AI can make mistakes. You don't want the 6, 7, or 8 finger model. You don't want extra hands or fingers in the AI generated images, and you want things that make sense. So there's got to be some oversight there, which we do and encourage you to do. Always give everything a final look. Anything else to share on that point, Dan, in terms of creative or testing?
Yeah, I think this is really important. Everybody, attention on this one. Okay, what Britt just said, cast that net. What are you doing in marketing? And what do we do when we start your Google Ads? We throw this massive net out. I mean, just massive. And then we say, okay, good. And we're gonna sample some budget. We're gonna sample some budget with this and see how it goes. And then you're gonna keep your call log and you're gonna say, wow, we got somebody from this zip code, that phone number, this time, this is what they clicked on, and we'll see that. And then you'll tell us, and we'll go, oh, okay, good, that was great. Yeah, and we got a $8,000 treatment plan from that. Great. So now our return on investment, we've covered that. Oh, and we also got a phone call from New Jersey, but you're in Arizona. Yeah, great. So we're going to put what's called a negative keyword in, and we're going to block because there's some reason your ad got out to Jersey and somebody clicked on it and called it. And so we start to bring in the corners of the net, if that makes sense. I just want you all to get exactly what Britt just said. You're casting a large net, but you bring those corners in and you do so quickly because that wide net, if you think about it, you're out there fishing and you want a certain type of a fish, but now you're getting everything. And sometimes you get a jug and a tire, right? So we figure out, oh, okay, good. We don't want the jug or the tire, and we don't want that type of fish or that type of fish. This is what we want. And that strategy, our team is making, 150, 200, 250 changes a month to every single account. It's very active. But it also relies on your feedback. So that's why we need you to keep your call logs. That's why we need you to give us the data back, what you're running into, what you're finding, what you're seeing, what your successes are, etc. So thumbs up if that makes sense on the net analogy, everybody. Okay, good. So I'll give you some other stuff on that, but go ahead, Britt, what you got?
We said we would talk about the good, the bad, and the ugly in terms of what we're seeing regarding sponsored ads. So the good, 5 things practices are doing right. So they're launching something called local services ads early. We have a whole section on that, but they're getting in early on that specific type of ad. They are using authentic doctor and patient video. I'm very happy to see the numbers of testimonials you're capturing, but that's very important to success on a sponsored ad, including capturing before and after images consistently. Responding quickly to new patient inquiries, speed is always going to be essential here. And that's what we're seeing that is good. And this one's super important, running campaigns consistently without interruption. You will see doing Google ads or any type of ad from 1 month, turning it off when it's still in an infancy. As Dan mentioned, you cast a wide net and then you have to bring in the corners and find those fish that you want. If you start it, stop it, turn it on, turn it off, you're never going to gain that momentum. So we really want people to, plan on investing for 6 months. When we did our implant funnel seminar with the Salvatores, sometimes their ROI on their implant funnel is 600%. And sometimes it's negative 100%. If they turned off the implant funnel on a month where it was down, they would miss out on the entire year, which I think it was around 525% ROI on the implant funnel. In those down months, we identified successful actions that we had dropped out or things that we did. We thought it was a great idea. We thought this testimonial was going to be great. It performed like crap, and we do something else. We optimize the creative and we see if there's anything that changed. So again, consistency. We don't want to waste your money. We don't want to waste anyone's time. Don't turn ads on for a week or a month and then give up on it. You want to optimize that and climb to the top of the pack. Dan, anything on your side from the good?
I think you said it. You got to know on any marketing campaign, postcards, digital, whatever, you got to give it enough of a chance. And if you don't give it enough of a chance and you stop before it really gains traction, you've just wasted not just the money that you spent, but the opportunity that was possible if you stick with a campaign. And that's not just marketing. That's anything. You got to stick with something. Let's do a test with everybody here. Okay, you start out doing something newly for the very first time. What condition are you in? Put it in the chat. If you're starting something brand new, correct. Amy Evelyn, correct. Gloria Jones, non-existence. Great. So you're doing something for the first time. You're applying non-existence condition. Good. If you move up the conditions, one condition, what condition did you move into? Danger. And it's funny, like few of you are sitting there going, yeah, what is the next? I don't know. What is the next higher condition? And things get dangerous. It applies to anything in life. You can start a new activity. You start, I want to go learn the piano. And you start learning and it's frustrating and it's hard and your fingers don't work and you get all pissed off about it. You've gone from non-existence on the subject of playing the piano up to danger. There are two ways out of the danger condition. What are they? Who's going to open their mic and tell me? Two ways out of danger. What are the two different directions? What are the two different?
Are you asking going up or down or
That's it.
bypassing?
You just said it, Gloria.
Cool.
Yeah, going up or down. There's two ways out of danger. As Gloria just said, it's up or down, man. You're either going to fight through the danger and you're going to go up into emergency, or you're going to be so frustrated and give it up and you go back into non-existence, which is your choice. You could say this applies in relationships. You meet somebody new, they're like, oh, this is my love of my life. Love at first sight. This is the one. And then you find out what they look like in the morning, their brushing habits or something that's irritating. And that's coming out of non-E with the person into danger. Is it worth the fight? But only you can decide on that one, right? But you got to fight through. Anybody who here is long-term married, 10 years or more, raise your hands, 10 years or more. Ooh, look at y'all, 15 years or more. Keep your hands up, 15 years or more. Okay, lost a couple of you. 20 years or more. Liliana, Mansur, Jawed. Okay, good. 30 years or more. Look who's holding their hands up. Amy, me, Jawed. Okay, good. So I can tell you, nobody's perfect. I'm not perfect. My spouse isn't perfect. She's damn near. Nobody's perfect. But you got to find out how to navigate things, and you got to fight through that danger up into emergency. And then you got to move into, normal and then affluence and power, right? So don't just start something. Oh, I tried it. It didn't work, and give up. You went up into danger and then you're going back into non-existence. So yeah, Britt, those are my comments.
I love it. And I did want to share, when we're on the section of the good, here are some successes. So we're going to stick with the fish analogy. So Dr. Trivedi, he saw a $36,000 case closed directly from Google Ads. Dr. Jones, they closed a $52,000 case from Google Ads. So these are big fish that you can get through Google Ads. Now, the thing that I want everyone to keep in mind is sometimes we get people who are so focused on catching the big fish or the whale or the Moby Dick that they ignore the other fish in their net. I'm going to speak frankly and move out of the analogy. If you're too focused on wrong calls or missed calls and you ignore the valid leads and nurturing those leads, we can be a bit obsessive about having a too small of a net because we're trying to get the quality super, super perfect. So it's always this great dance of we absolutely can do things about missed calls. We absolutely can do things about wrong numbers, but we really want a good sized net. We really want good amount of leads. And then you will find these big fish or these whales floating around there. The implant funnel is great for that, but you can get these high value cases from Google Ads as well. So those are some recent wins we wanted to share on that.
Just one more thing. Remember this. You're doing your ads. If you've been listening, what's the purpose of your ads? They see your ad and they do whatever. And then what do? Make the phone ring. Yeah, they reach to the office. Do they call you? Sometimes. But listen, what would be a decent sized treatment plan for your office? Put it in the chat. Not a big one and not a small one, but what would be kind of like a decent sized treatment plan? Decent, not big. Just, kind of routine. 15K, Gloria, 10K, 15. Keep coming up with it, guys. What's 10 to 15? Good. Now, whatever number you just came up with, whether you put it in there or not. Glenda, what's an ortho case in your office cost? 6? Okay, good. All right. So 6, let's just think $6,000. How many of you feel that that's a pretty ordinary treatment plan? Raise your hand if that's a pretty ordinary number floating around your office for a treatment plan. Okay, good. Now put your hands down. Now, I'm asking you personally, raise your hand if I was to ask you personally for $6,000 right now, how many of you think that's a lot of money? I'm raising my hand. Right? Everybody just, and you should have seen, that's the fastest hand I've gotten this entire webinar. Man, everybody, no, that's a lot of money. Right. So, and y'all doing this every day, 6,000, and you're walking into that op as you should. Oh yeah, it's only going to be $6,000. Oh no, there's nothing only about $6,000. So you're dealing with people who know what dentistry can cost, could cost, has cost. You got to build that relationship. So they see your ad, they come to you, but they don't pick up the phone. They don't just march in. I saw your ad, so I got in my car and I drove here. And I just decided to walk in because you guys are so awesome in your ad. No, nobody does that. They go and they check out your profiles and they look at your social media and they go, I know that I did go to another practice and it was super expensive, but oh God, if I'm going to spend that kind of money, I really got to make sure I'm making the right choice. And they see something like this. Here, how many of you want another AI song? Raise your hand. You want some more music? Because, it's Christmas, Good. So we did this for another one of our clients. Somebody's clicked on the ad. Now they're going to come and they're going to check out the profile and they're going to see this about this practice.
Premier Smiles. Bourbon, Pennsylvania. Family built. Smile obsessed. Where artistry meets technology. Started with a dream back in 2003. One chair, two hands, just Dr. Eerie. Long nights, big heart, every smile a goal. Changing lives one patient at a time, soul to soul. Then came Florrie, the business queen. MBA, brilliance running everything. He perfects every tune, she perfects every flow. Together they build what the city now knows. Pain-free, worry-free, smooth like a dream. Latest tech with a warm-hearted team, all under one roof. Every need fulfilled, compassion plus talent plus world-class skill. Pour a smile like a star, let the whole world see. Premier Smiles brought the best out of me. All under one roof, every treatment on lock. Implants, veneers, this team doesn't stop. You'll smile like a star, new life, new energy. Premier Smiles, where artistry meets technology. 5-minute extractions, no swelling, no pain. Patients stay for years, yeah, they remain. Modern, spotless like a dental spa. Comfort, kindness, chef's kiss, no flaw. Families walking, feeling relaxed. Confidence rising, yeah, that's a fact. They treat every patient like part of their tribe. It's not just a dental office, it's a vibe. 2 little blessings made the dream explode. Sophia, Tatiana, Antonia, Maria. Light up the whole world, they know. A family practice, a family heart. Love built the business, passion built the art. Where every smile has a story. Pair your smile like a star, let the whole world see. Premier Smiles set a brand new version of me. From Bourbon, PA, they're changing the game. Dr. Ahiri and Florrie, remember that name. All under one roof, every treatment on lock. Veneers, implants, this team doesn't stop. Ready to smile like a star. New life, new energy. Premier Smiles, where artistry meets technology. Family, artistry, technology. Premier Smiles, where confidence returns.
Good. So I just clicked on an ad. I came. How many of you feel like you better know that client? Raise your hand. You feel like you better know that client. Good. Well, if I'm going to be spending $25,000 on a treatment plan, which is not unusual for a lot of you, boy, I better know who you are. And I think I know who these people are. Miriam and I kind of did this as a bit of a project. We're just a bit of a test. And what we did is we reverse engineered. We analyzed their Google reviews to find out what everybody loves about the practice. We took existing assets from their social media, their website, They didn't lift a finger to do that video. Well, they did lift a bit of a finger, but not much. Like all that stuff was already there. So some of you could do that kind of stuff. But the point is I need you to get this idea that this consumer is going to find you from marketing. They're going to come to your profiles, and that's where they need to fall in love with you. Are they able to fall in love with you? Now, you could do it in a myriad of ways. You could do it with fun. You could do it with culture photos, before and after photos. You should do all of those things. But I need you to just understand your marketing spend is going to get people to come to your profiles. What's on your profiles is the foundation that's going to build the trust and get them to go, oh my goodness, this is the right place. And then they pick up the phone and they call you. Thumbs up if you understand that process. Good. Okay. Britt?
I love it. I love it. I love it. And I think that all speaks to trust. They want to trust that they're going to be taken care of. They're going to be as comfortable as possible. They've come to the right place. That does lead us into our local services ads and what I want to show you here. So local services ads are a type of Google ad, and a key element of it is that you are verified by Google. They're going to ask you to submit a bunch of documents, your medical license, your insurance, etc. So they verify you have everything in place. Google feels confident that you're a great provider, and so they put you right at the top of the page. On this type of ad, you pay per lead, which can typically make it more efficient, but I'll show you what that looks like. So I searched dentist near me. Trinity Dental Arts popped up at the very top. When I click on this profile, this business has been verified by Google. It goes on to tell me all of the services that are offered, and we can help you make sure, it's all set up correctly. The verification gets pushed through, you're selecting the right categories, and we're tuning performance and doing call audits to make this as impactful as possible. Again, not to continue to use the fish analogy, but I am. This is another net in your boat that you can use to catch more fish and people who are looking for you. If you search dentist near me, you'll probably see these pop up at the top. This is a screenshot, but if you continue scrolling down, you see the maps. Then you see your regular Google ads, and then you see your organic results. So this is like primo, very, very top positioning. So we want everyone to know about these, take advantage of these. This is a type of ad that has only existed for a couple of years in the
very short period of time. I'm going to tell you, everybody who's doing Google Local, raise your hands. If you're doing Google Local, you should be doing Google Local, because right now, it's adding, listen, I know it's another income stream for Google and it's frustrating, but some people are now going to Google, and if you're not verified with Google, they don't even know what that means. You just ain't got the check mark, man. Where's the green check mark? Find out from your account manager right now. That process takes a bit. I mean, what's the longest we've seen? Britt, Alan, Augustina, what are we seeing? How long that process has taken for some clients to get verified? Because that verification process, you're almost submitting a blood sample. What do you see, Britt? What's the longest? It
has taken people, up to 2 to 3 months, but we've gotten it down to 1 to 2 weeks. We really have it streamlined. So as long as you haven't changed your name from what's on your medical license, we can get it done pretty fast.
Yeah. Get Google Local, talk to Miriam, Amy, your account manager, whatever. Add that on. It's relatively inexpensive. We've seen some people get an additional 5, 10, 20, 30 new patients a month just from Google Local. Now, you are paying for those leads, but it's just another channel. So it goes really well with your regular Google ads. And if you're not doing any Google ads right now, jump on Google Local and start there. So we'll help you with that. We do the registration process, and then you don't pay until you're registered. So we're not going to keep billing you until you're actually live. And then once you're live, then we can adjust budgets and stuff. Now, it's not as strategic and it's not as laser focused as normal Google ads. Like, you can't say, I want to do Google Local ads for cosmetic and implants. No, that doesn't work like that. But it'll get you to the top. And the top is a big deal. And when they see the little check mark, that instills trust and confidence. Good. And then, any questions, you're welcome to ask those questions. But that's a great point. It's a great starting point. It's an easy add-on to your marketing right now. Like if you're like, I need to boost some things, I need to get some things going. Yeah, boost that like right now. Give it a try. And if after 3-6 months, we're not seeing anything, legend from it, then we can make a decision, but a very easy one. Britt?
I love it. And we do have some great successes coming through on local services ads. Dr. Heredia, they got 7 leads right away and they scheduled 6 of them, which is a great scheduling rate.
Nice.
Dr. Patel, the cool thing about it is we also know the impressions you're getting. Again, we track ROI. We don't track impressions, but it's kind of a sub statistic to know, okay, 7,000 people are searching dentist near me and my name pops up first. So that does dovetail with all the marketing they're doing to make things busier, the phone's ringing more, their SEO and other ads are working better and so forth. So that's exciting.
Nice. Yeah, I don't have anything else to add on that.
Wonderful. Well, then I want to talk with Miriam and Dan. So basically, most of you know Miriam. She is our VP for Strategy and Success. She is doing 2026 marketing planning strategy sessions. If you would like one of those, put it in the chat. Miriam, do you want to talk about what you're seeing that's coming up in 2026? Dive into what you're excited about, what you're hearing from practices, and what's going on.
Absolutely. Well, hi, everybody. Good to see a nice crowd. One of the main things that I see, I've been doing a lot of marketing analysis now going into 2026. Like Dan said, really doing an analysis of what was working in 2025. What do we do to strengthen that? If you're doing great on Google Ads, that's awesome. We're definitely going to continue that. We might want to increase the budget because we know that's already working, right? Same with local service ads, implant funnel, and so forth. And then also just planning out on what can we add to your marketing platform going forward. Honestly, all of you have attended the new patient workshop, and no matter what we look at when it comes to marketing, like Dan said over and over again throughout this webinar, it always goes back to the basics, right? The more reviews you have, the more reviews you're adding, the more pictures you're adding to your Google business profile, your social media accounts, etc., the better your ads are also going to perform, because nobody's going to pick you as a practice if you're not in that right star rating, you don't have a continuous number of reviews coming in, or you have less than 150 reviews. It's harder to get your Google ads or any ads to function at their optimal level, right? So a lot of the internal things that you're doing from your practice mixed in with marketing done correctly and the correct marketing steps is very important. But, again, I always say it's very much an individual thing. Practice per practice will be very different. It all depends where you're at, what geographical zone you're in. What works in Miami won't work for New York or LA, right? So the marketing analysis we'll do together is very much customized to your area and to what works in your zone.
And I'm just going to add something onto that. So thanks, Miriam. And I'm going to say this is back of everything. I want you to think with 2026, what worked well in 2025 and what do we focus on 2026? I want you to think about dentistry as a subject. And while you're all dental professionals, right? So you can't forget that or unremember that. I want you to remember what it was like maybe before you were in dentistry. What was your general vision about dentistry? And it's a scary subject. You're already operating at a bit of a negative, right? People have had bad experiences. They don't like drills. They don't like needles. They haven't been too compliant. They haven't been good patients, right? They're not brushing and flossing so they're walking in and it's just, okay, that's rough. But what can you do to counter that? And the culture and the fun about your practice and how real you are. We got Dr. Guerin here. Oh, there you are. Okay, good. Done so well to really capture the culture. And I'm seeing now where, there's hesitancy with video, and I think it was back in the new patient workshop, not really doing anything on social media. Now she's doing fun stuff, capturing the culture of the team. When I go there, I just immediately smile and I go, okay, good. This person's safe. This person's real. This person's like me. And I've seen what so many of you have done to work, some of you with your doctors, to kind of bring them out of their shell and include them in the fun that you're having on social media. And it's so well worth the effort. But even behind that, it ends up being a bit of a team building activity. And how many of you like a fun environment? Raise your hand if you like a fun environment. You like a fun work environment. Good. I want you to focus on those things that bring that about and capture those things, because you have those moments. You might not be capturing, but you have those moments in your practice. Capture those things. And then when Miriam goes through this, she's going to look at that through the eyes of somebody who's just the typical consumer, typical potential new patient. And fortunately here at Blumberg Digital, all of our team, our person we have our Amy, and Amy is our queen at making the culture known broadly and externally for our potential new clients. But you got to have your person who does that, the person who carries the life of that practice. We've got Julia here from the Delgado Dental Group. You got to have that person who's going to take the time to capture that culture and grab a camera and snap it and make it fun. If the day's a little gray and a little dull, okay, who's going to be, the person to put some salt and pepper in that and, make it a little bit spicy, a little bit fun. So have that person ready and on the ready for when Miriam comes up with her program for you, because that person's going to be very, very important. They've already been very important, and they're going to be even more important for 2026. The internal culture of the practice to get fee-for-service type patients, people who care more about their teeth and their lifestyle and the quality of the service than they do the money. Again, doesn't mean the money isn't important, doesn't mean they have a bunch of it, but they care more about it, and they're willing to spend a little bit more, be a little bit more choosy about their dentist. That's the person you want to attract. So you've got to create that image. And when you get the direction from Miriam, like, we're going to tell you everything. We're going to, stuff that has nothing to do with our services. Like, literally, there's nothing we can do. That's going to be on you to fix. But have that person on the ready, like, hey, I'm going to, whether you're my new patient coordinator or you're just a great assistant or you're this great, financial coordinator, but you got that kind of verve and the fun in you, I need your help to be this until we have that person permanently. So just some additional words of advice.
Wonderful. And we have one more Easter egg for you. Miriam came across this in her research about why Invisalign is incredibly strong in Q1. Now, Invisalign, I want you to think teeth whitening, cosmetic, smile makeover, veneer. But Miriam, if you want to walk people through why people are so triggered about their teeth in January and how we can help them.
Absolutely. So there's a couple of things. First of all, as we all know, insurance benefits reset on January 1, right? So people have an entire year now to look at their insurance coverage. There's a strong new year, new smile mindset, and you'll see it later in that. But people take holiday pictures and then they look back at them and go, oh, I didn't really like my smile.
It's so true.
Right?
It's so true.
It's actually a thing. January through March is the strongest seasonal window for Invisalign promotion. So whether that's with Google ads or ads, that's one thing, but just what you communicate from your practice, anything you communicate in your social media, promotions, your posts and stuff like that, how you go about the first quarter of 2026. When I did my research on it, Invisalign and cosmetic, like Britt said, that seems to be the number one button for dentistry in Q1 of the year, right? So I would push that very hard. People also, they make their New Year's resolutions. So their motivations when it comes to their health tend to be a lot higher in the first part of the year, and then it kind of fizzles out. But yeah.
It's great. I'm going to just throw in on that. There's a mindset, whether you are in network with their insurance company or not, getting that message out, new year, new smile, your insurance benefits just reset. You might be 100% fee for service, but you're still going to help them with their claim. So, but there's a mindset that people go, oh yeah, I've got insurance, and okay, but maybe insurance is going to do anything for Invisalign or what they need, but it gets them to come. It gets them to set an appointment. So anyhow, great. And to everybody, this has been great seeing you. If you got to sign off right now, it's just been so good to see you. Whatever 2025 was for you, I'm just going to tell you this, it's been great knowing you and working with you as clients as usual, because life isn't just all about the statistics, is it? It's about our experience and affinity and reality and communication. And I really appreciate everybody. Our team here at Blumberg Digital is very much culture-based, and we love our clients. You are our friends as much as you are our clients and attendees to our webinar. So thank you for attending routinely and being our friend.
Absolutely. Happy holidays. Very great to see everyone. We'll also send around this recording. Dan had so much valuable insight to share, and we definitely want to make sure you can rewatch that, implement it, and just have a really fantastic 2026.
Okay, guys, have a great holiday season. Thanks for being here. We'll see you on the next one.